Hello, everyone! Welcome back to the Rational Investors Crypto Countdown! Crypto Top 100 Crypto Review. Crypto, we never figured out the name for the show, and every week it's always the same thing, so it's a pretty. Hey, welcome to the show! I'm terrible at intros, and I think 8 years we still don't have like an intro for our daily video on the site, so. As you can see, this is, I think it's episode 55 or something like that. So we've been doing this for about a year and change. So we'll probably get an intro and a proper title and all that in about 5 or 6 years. Actually, maybe we can even, probably 2 happenings from now. That'll be the plan. Anyway, welcome back to the show. Lighthearted look at crypto. Crypto's kind of fun. It's a new technology, of course, and venture capital, VC space. And actually, you know what? This week I actually get to say, is Danny out of the penalty box yet? Oh boy, what do you think, Ben? Wait. Before you answer, let's introduce my panel. My apologies. Ben's been with me since day one. He toughed out both previous co-hosts. And so how are you doing this evening, Ben?
I'm doing great. Yeah, happy to be here.
Good.
Yeah. Yes, awesome. And to answer your question about Danny, I think he's just pulled himself out of the penalty box.
Yeah. He's stormed, as we'd say in hockey land, he's stormed the boards.
Stormed the boards.
Because actually the penalty box, that's where that sport reference comes from, eh?
Gotcha, okay.
So he's just said, screw it, I'm coming over the boards, I'm back in play, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy.
Oh, that's interesting. And actually it was, okay, so cool, we got that done. Welcome to the conversation, Ben. Great to have you on board as always. And our Romanian nightmare. How can you not introduce this? We almost need a dun 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 dun. Paul, coming from Romania, the Bitcoin badass trader. How you doing this evening, sir?
Good morning. I'm good.
Good.
Just trading every day.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Paul started
nice week so far.
Yeah. Paul started the conversation as soon as he chimed in. There's a damn fine market, damn fine. Rock and roll. How are you? And I keep forgetting that. I made that mistake repeatedly, so thank you for correcting me. How are you this fine morning?
Yeah, it's a bit early for me, but it's okay.
Good.
Just looking at the chat.
All right. And long and short of it, if you're making money in the market, then you're a happy camper. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Right on. Good for you. So, welcome, panelists. We'll have a fun conversation tonight, I hope. Talking crypto, talking markets, talking sort of events. Hopefully, Brian can keep the political and non-trading wise rhetoric to a minimum, and we can have some fun here talking about where it feels like the market's going next. So, probably the best thing to start off with here is, you know what? I think the best thing to start off with is just a reminder that actually this, what's actually unfolding here, I think, is actually exactly what we have been basically expecting through the entire year, which is kind of shocking. I'll pull up the web page, and of course, here's your shill to join the site. Awesome website. Tools are getting better and better every day. And I don't know whether you saw the tweets that I put out recently, but not only did the breadth indicator itself that we run on crypto, which I suppose I can show you in another window, but the histogram, which is like sort of your early warning sign that trouble could be coming. The histogram was flashing warning signs last week, and I think, if you had listened to it, you saved yourself some headache there over the past couple weeks. I guess maybe about a week or so in crypto. So that was awesome. And really here, our dashboard breadth indicator told us to look out. There's going to be some trouble. If anything, it's almost encouraging to see how the breadth indicator has washed itself out. Like we said on the histogram, we've actually gone, we haven't gone oversold yet, but we definitely have dipped. We're no longer, don't worry about crypto being overbought now, so that's a good sign. But you know what's fascinating is not only, I mean, this information sort of gives you the context of the current market. Is the market overbought? Is the market oversold? Is there, key reversals? Is there, breadth indicator signals that the broader market is breaking one way or the other? What you really need to do if you're going to be an effective investor, I think, is you have to put the whole picture together, and that's where our blog is just so darn valuable. Just recently we had, of course, a brand new quarter of data. So our sector rotation modeling is definitely giving us a lot of really interesting hints as to what to expect. And hint, it seems tech is back in the spotlight. And tech and crypto are highly correlated. So that's kind of a good sign. But probably also, too, and this is what I found incredible as I watched the year play out, is that, longtime pros like guys like Larry Williams, this is basically this is a study. It's called a decennial study. And this is basically his roadmap of what to expect through the year. And gosh darn it, market is looking a hell of a lot like this. We're about halfway through the study. And I don't know whether you guys saw, but the market kind of violently reacted to the upside here today coming out of the Fed. And I'm actually feeling like there's a lot of bullish momentum going on here. Saw a couple notes that just screamed capitulation. I think Kathy Woods sold something like $25 million worth of Coinbase stock, basically right at the bottom. If that isn't a capitulation event, I don't know what is. And now, of course, like Ben was saying there a moment ago, here comes Danny. Fucking. Oh man, this could be one hell of a fall, people. Like I said when I started the broadcast, right out of the gate, Paul's like, "Rock and roll, baby, let's go." That's awesome. So I have to say, ironic, it fills me with a certain sense of joy that the stuff that we do at TRI, I think it has grit. And I think that we got this market pretty well tapped, and people that are hanging around the site and basically listening to our rants. I mean, this has been our roadmap for the entire year, and I think we're right on schedule. And oh, by the way, are we supposed to think about things if we see big W's in price? Get ready, folks. So it's kind of cool. So with that said, I mean, that's our backdrop. I don't know what the best approach is here. Our focus for this show, of course, is supposed to be specifically crypto. I wouldn't mind actually taking some time, and I actually put together sort of a matrix to try and explain, even to the cryptoverse, where, I've got Bitcoin and Ethereum on this matrix. Try and explain why things are happening the way that they're happening. Are there some tells in the market that actually we can use to try and help us see price action a little bit clearer and understand the context of the market? Now, I don't know whether this is an appropriate venue for this conversation. I will say that, just very simply, and, maybe I'll just leave that to simmer. And if we have enough time, I mean, keep in mind, we really want to try and get through as many coins as possible. I'll probably, talk on site, in daily briefs about where does crypto actually fit in this big picture. And as you can see, we got a bit of a bullish bend here, no doubt, coming out of that Fed event. I'd also wouldn't mind, reviewing sort of where we are. I mean, like we said, W's. And actually, I love this, like a triple W. So it's almost like there's a W in a W. Oh my goodness, very bullish. How do we resolve this consolidation here? I'm actually going to be watching the breadth indicator, actually. For when the breadth indicator spits up a new buy signal, then we can start thinking long setups. I think as it stands right now, it almost feels like now we got to go through sort of a shoulder consolidation. Look how quickly Bitcoin just jumped right back up there against that trend line now. And this is dangerous here, right? You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that just bought that breakout there. Okay. It is very realistic for us to just sort of work our way along this trend line lower for a little while. So just be aware of that, people. You know, this jump right here, I think Paul just rang the register big time. You know, it'll be cool to sort of listen to his setup and what he did through that. But I just wonder whether now is it such a good time to become uber bullish? I don't know. That's a tough one. You know, interestingly enough, the bet that I made, the sort of the bigger bet that I made of late, was really on Ethereum, picking some up around $1,000. So even right now at 1700, a little bit concerned. You know, that's a 60-70% rate of return. But Paul, are you trying to message me here? What does that say? BB. I seem to still be working away on YouTube, but the meat's not working. Is that what's going on? Isn't that interesting? Let's head on over to... It's a good thing that we actually did the YouTube recording separately. So... I've been blabbing away here at myself, and that's what often happens, eh? So isn't that interesting? I wonder if Google has a issue. Actually, maybe I'm in a different account. Okay, well, I'll try and join back in. See how we do here. So that crashed. And if I'm not mistaken, I think YouTube is just humming away. It's funny how I seem to be talking to the gentleman through the YouTube page. Let's see. Are you here? Come in, Tokyo! Treat trading like a business, and market will treat you like a king. Oh, I think I'm connected again. Oh, that looks a bit familiar. Can you hear me? Paul, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, there's Ben.
Yeah, I'm back.
You are still sending your video to others in the meeting. Oh, that's encouraging. Actually, I've got the slick back look going tonight, so. All right, well, that was kind of interesting. I wonder what Google's plans were here tonight. They killed the meat. I wonder, who am I logged in as? Am I logged in as a rational investor, or is just a personal account? Oh, yeah, the rational investor. That's interesting. Wonder what the heck happened there. It wouldn't surprise me, you know. Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And I've told you about Canada in particular. This could be a bit of a challenging time for this country, so we'll see how it goes. If internet mysterious, I think like for like half the country, the internet just stopped there like a week or so ago or something like that, and of course all the citizens were just absolutely outraged over what happened. So interesting. So the poor guys. What did I leave off with? Was I just introducing you? Did we get through introductions before I cut out there?
Yeah, I was just 1 minute or 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. So I did my little rant about Bitcoin and just being careful in here. And then, actually, you know what we need to do? My apologies, guys. Maybe that's why I disconnected. It was sort of like, hey, Brian, get back on script, man. Get back on script. We're supposed to, and actually I'm using this TradingView desktop application right now to try and help the browser out, but I guess maybe that's not working. I don't know. Anyway, what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to be looking at the contest. Who was right? Who came close? So what do we say here? 27th. I guess that's today, right? Yep. So this was Fed Day. We finished there 22.8. So Brian had given a little bit of an upvote. Who's this? That's Paul. That's you, eh? Paul gave a neutral vote.
Yeah.
And Ben, you gave a bearish vote? Is that what happened here?
Yeah.
All right. And so we were neutral, and slightly bearish. And it came in slightly bearish. Interesting. Or is that this week or is that the previous week? I'm confused here.
Yeah, so that was our that was what we cast last week.
Yeah, we sort of predicted that this. I suppose we probably ought to move this column over here. I'm not quite sure. Oh, this column's here. Oh, yeah, but we moved to some sheets, so we don't really need this column here anymore. It's getting a little bit... now, where is Paul? There's Paul there. Let's move... I don't know how we can do this. Move you over there. Oh, no. See, that's what I thought happens. And whenever you try to do something while you're live, of course, it turns into a complete disaster. Okay, well, we'll put you over there. And now, there we go. So we got Paul, Ben, and Brian. In fact, actually, why don't we even go... oh, okay. Okay, so the big winner is Ben, right? Down into Fed. Way to go. That was basically exactly what happened, eh? And then literally as soon as he, you know what was interesting? And that was sort of like why I had put this screen together. I'm trying to explain what the hell happened there today. But literally almost as soon as he stopped talking, Bitcoin just launched itself higher, right? Did you see that?
Yeah, I was in the watch party.
Oh, were you? Oh, yeah, that's right. You did join us. So, everybody, FYI, watching this video. Actually, I think it was one of the site members' ideas a few weeks ago that we just throw a hangout together and all watch the Fed do their thing, and of course Brian commenting from the cheap seats. I hope. What did you think, Ben? Was that kind of a fun environment?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I couldn't really participate much. I was doing some work, but just seeing how the market reacted to even every question, it seemed like there was
exactly.
But interesting to see that Bitcoin led the way in terms of telling everyone where to go.
That was fascinating, eh? So through the whole, because like and we actually through the meeting, I had these on like 1 minute charts. So we were just literally watching tick by tick by tick. And what was fascinating about this, and probably Cole, it was Cole's idea today to get it up and running. So thank you, Cole, for reminding me. But what was fascinating to watch was basically Bitcoin was ahead of the futures, like the stock futures, specifically the S&P 500, but specifically the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq's a little bit higher correlation to Bitcoin. But literally, Bitcoin would jump about $5-10, and then you'd see the S&Ps and Nasdaq be dragged higher. I thought that was fascinating. So if anything, you're here watching this video, how can I use this information to outperform? You know, like Julian recently found a hack on one of the sites, those CFD sites that he likes to trade. And he took advantage of it. I mean, I suppose that's capitalism 101, right? If you have an edge, you might as well exploit it. So I wonder if we found a little bit of an edge today. I'm serious. Like people who are serious at this and they want, they got some money to work with and they're sharp-eyed. I tell you, I thought that was fascinating. And excellent point, Ben. That was excellent of you to point out. That literally anybody who was like really sharp watching crypto at the same time, you got like a little tell as to what was going to happen in the stock futures. So, cool. Actually, yeah, and I do remember seeing you in the call today, and I was like, damn, cool to see Ben here. Awesome. Yeah, so that was kind of fun. We had sort of a running play-by-play. And it was so funny, right? Because I used to be an old broker, and half of my job, like, you see how everybody's so obsessed about KYC, right? Now, the irony of it all is if I had said that when I first came into crypto, people didn't know what the fuck KYC meant. What the hell does that mean? This is gobbledygook. I think you all now fully understand the term KYC. So half of my job was to know your client, and more importantly, like I worked for a good chunk of my career in the stock market. I worked for a guy who managed a pretty damn big book. And so, I was the kind of guy that sat down there and kind of filtered all the riffraff. Do we even want you talking to David? Don't waste David's time. He charges like $1,000 an hour. Anyway, that's here nor there. So the point is that I got really good at reading people's body language. And I used to actually take little side courses and stuff like that on my own volition to try and sort of learn how people are telling the truth and stuff. And then when you learn these tells and you talk to people, it's so incredibly obvious when people are lying. It's absolutely incredible. So it's kind of cool to watch Powell stand up on the stage. He has to talk to all these people. He's an open book, and you can clearly tell when he's lying. It's kind of funny. So those kind of anecdotes, we were having fun. And basically the market did, literally, question by question. And frankly speaking, listening to the conversation, I got the impression that the market actually likes what it's hearing. And this, I think, is going all right back to this conversation. And this is why this TRI is such a magical place, wherever the hell the damn article is. Come on, don't fail me now. Sometimes when I do these, there it is. We've been talking about this for a while. Long-time pros in the market. These are the kind of studies that they pay attention to. We've been talking about how there should be a pivot here sometime around the end of June, beginning of July. We talked a lot about how Chair Powell, and actually we only heard it 5 times today, so I was a little disappointed. The girls seems to really be holding on to that, but the boys, not so much. I thought that was interesting. Especially the older gentlemen. The older gentlemen are like, I'm not doing that shit. Anyway, so the point here is Mr. Williams, and keep in mind, he made reference that this is one of Warren Buffett's favorite studies. So, if the Buffinator likes it, then obviously it's something for us to pay attention to. But in essence, they've all been saying that we probably should pivot sometime around the end of June, beginning of July. And I even heard Chair Powell, even today, say, well, the year-over-year comparisons, this was the worst. So already, and I could feel the tone. When the market was trading, as Ben was saying, when the market was trading through him speaking, number one, I noticed the US dollar got absolutely bitch slapped. But number two, risk on proxies, the euro took off like a rocket. Even the yen caught a bid through that. The bonds, if anything, we've been hearing lots of talk about the bonds. There's lots of supply that are hitting the market, but even he said, well, yes, the market knows that there's going to be a lot of supply, but the market is absorbing it. It's handling it. I mean, is the bond market a bear market now? Yes, you better believe it. Are interest rates rising over the medium to long term? Yep. That is the trend now. Get used to it. But he said the market's handling it. But also, too, and this is ironic, that everybody's worried about recession. Ironically enough, I think this really is the final expression of the quantitative easing. You inject that much money into the money supply, inflation is going to go bananas. And then, of course, during times of war, usually actually the economic output increases. So maybe that's one of the major reasons why Vladdy did what he did, was he needed to stimulate the Russian economy somehow. Wouldn't surprise me. I think probably the most important point out of this whole deck, clearly, risk on, risk off, heading, that's a big M, right? Which is a vote for risk on. The stock market, like Ben said there, the stock market took off like a rocket here. This is an interesting study. The candle pattern is the S&P 500. The orange line is the NASDAQ. So we need to understand, and this is yes, this is a crypto show, but just bear with me because I think this actually relates to crypto, because I think you actually see it in Bitcoin and Ethereum as well, same sort of thing. hopefully what you see is to start the day, and even sort of in the previous days, NASDAQ was underperforming. Why? Because these are high beta stocks. That's what they call these stocks. They have a relatively higher rate of change versus something like the S&P 500, which has banks and factories and stuff that are relatively low volatility. So you can actually build one of these studies, and it tells you about the enthusiasm of the market. And you can see over on the left-hand side of the picture here, the NASDAQ was underperforming. People were really worried. Why? Because as you can see from this image, this is the Fed Fund futures. This is what the market is thinking that the Fed is going to do. And, keep in mind the market is a discounting mechanism. If they think the Fed's going to raise rates and they're worried, then this number goes from the upper left to the lower right. That's just the way it goes. That's a bear market. That's higher short-term interest rates. But notice what happened on the other side of this event, right? Here is, I beg your pardon. Where the heck are we? Have I got this time scale right? Yeah. So here is today. Right, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4, 5, yes, 5 o'clock. So there is the interest rate announcement. In essence, the market, especially a day or two ago, was really worried about, maybe even the Fed coming out. And I heard somebody the other day, I couldn't believe this. I heard somebody the other day said that they were expecting the Fed to raise interest rates 2%. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. They would kill the economy if they did that. But it just goes to show this is human emotion, and emotion is reflected in the marketplace. Then Mr. Chappelle comes out and does his thing, and actually the market even on the announcement, right? They clearly went, whoa. I mean, somebody obviously got wind that it was only going to be 75 basis points. And so this thing started to move back up. And I think this is the tell that the market believes that the Fed is in front of this inflation problem. Now, keep in mind, the Fed, interestingly enough, now the Fed actually has wiggle room that if they do need to even do like an intra-meeting hike of like a quarter point or something like that, they've got the flexibility to do that now because, like I said, the other day the market was expecting basically frogs to fall from the sky. So I thought it was interesting that the bond market actually responded fairly well here over the past few days. Now you can see, bonds, they heard him say, well, you know what, the bond market's a bear market, so don't be going and investing in here. And they put in this M. But if bonds are heading down, ironically enough, and interest rates on the long end are heading up, ironically enough, that's a steepening of the yield curve. And that's actually bullish of risk. So you can actually see it. Remember I said, at the beginning of the conversation, we actually had the NASDAQ underperforming high beta names that you could actually use this relationship as a spread to tell you sort of bullish and bearish enthusiasm. And you can see the NASDAQ was underperforming because they were, more bearish. Then notice that as the Fed announcement, of course, there is the Fed announcement. Did somebody maybe know in tech land about what the Fed was going to do? I don't know. Kind of looks a little suspicious. And, that's the market. I mean, that's what happens. But notice the spread now is in favor of tech. Tech is now outperforming old economy, right? Brick and mortar. That's a very powerful signal from the market. Thought it was interesting too, looking at the commodities, you can use the same logic if you look at gold and silver. So gold and silver, of course, we don't like talking about gold and silver, Brian. I mean, Jesus Christ, this is crypto. But, here is just this is the silver chart here down here, and the teal line is silver compared to gold. Now, and this is a percentage basis movement. But you tell me, is silver outperforming gold or is gold outperforming silver? Looks to me like silver's outperforming gold. This is actually a bullish bet on the economy. The economy's doing well. according to the metals merchants. And there is a lot of industrial demand, and so that's why silver is outperforming gold. So that's another good sign for the economy. I mean, there it is, full screen. So that brings us to crypto. And actually, you can even see it here in the short term. You know, Bitcoin, just even through the end of the day, is actually potentially going to put in a double top here. Look at Ethereum. Ain't no double top here. Get out of my way. I'm a bull. So you can even see it in the Bitcoin and Ethereum relationship. So some very powerful tells. I thought it was interesting. I don't know whether I didn't do it on natural gas, but I get a funny feeling natural gas is the same sort of thing. I haven't really done the historical correlations, but when natural gas outperforms oil, usually that's a bearish bet. And when oil outperforms natural gas, actually that's a bullish bet of the economy. But we'll see how that goes. And of course, Greta, of course, making trouble for everybody. So I don't know if this relationship's going to last test of time. So we're getting a lot of risk on votes here, whether it be things like relationship between silver and gold, whether it be the spread in high beta stocks versus conservative stocks, whether it be the spread, and I kind of think Ethereum in crypto world, and I suppose that's, where are we here? That's this kind of conversation. If anything, what I think we ought to expect is this to continue working away in Ethereum's favor. Now, does this go in M-out? I don't know. Based on what I just saw there with with Ethereum. Oh, darn. Oh, yeah, I got it. This just messes me up. Sorry. With Ethereum pushing higher here, but Bitcoin kind of stalling out. I get the impression, actually, to be perfectly honest with you, that both of them are kind of near the top end of a range here. It looks like Bitcoin, you know, if it just simply put, Bitcoin ran into a horizontal support and resistance level on that FOMC event. And you can even see right now, the market is asking, well, do I really want to accept higher? And ironically enough, I think the resolution of this consolidation, if this turns into a W here, then oh boy, away we go. If this, however, M's out here, then yeah, we're probably heading back down into the soup. And interesting enough with Ethereum, there's no top here just yet, but what I do see is the potential for a megaphone. But that means that Ethereum's going to outperform here in the short term. And maybe we do something like that, and then he comes back down. Notice also, too, Ethereum has not hit these 2.618s. I don't think that this move can complete until these 2.618s are actually tagged. I think they gotta be. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. But I guess just my general message out of the conversation tonight, number one, I mean, bullish setups are working, and I wouldn't tinker with that. Could we use some consolidation? You know, wicks and tails like to be eaten. You can see where moving average support is. It's quite a bit lower than where we are now. So buying here doesn't make any sense at all. And if anything, you know, we probably want to draw things like reload zones and stuff. And if we do want to think about buying, it would probably be on some sort of dip, testing, you know, Wyckoff checks, maybe like a reload zone of this particular range, tag of the POC, that kind of stuff. But you know who probably would be best to have that conversation is our buddy Paul. So Paul, what do you think? Are you ready to tell us what you're seeing in the Bitcoin chart here?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, why not?
Cool. All right. So hopefully that was a good segue. I didn't want to totally dominate the conversation, but I had to figure out how, you know, I really wanted to have that sort of higher sort of look, Fed funds, what the hell's going on with the FOMC, and are we actually getting messages from the market, which I think we actually are. So with all that said, you know, as I said, Paul started the conversation off right off of the gate like, woo-wee, this is a hot market. So I'm actually pretty excited to hear what's on Paul's mind. I just got to figure out how to maximize this screen. Okay, it looks like we did that. I'll put myself on mute. And Paul, actually, if you want to maximize your screen as well, it might save you a little bit of space on the YouTube. But I'll put myself on mute. You got the floor. Tell us what you're seeing here in the market.
Yeah. From last week, 21, I guess, when we did the last meet, we are somewhere in this area. And we talked about it, and I said until the Fed, I expect to go down in pump chaser zone or even in the reload zone. I noted the Fed day, and we just made a channel and slowly goes down exactly at 61, not exactly, but to 61.8, where I have my buy order. 61.8 to 78.6. Exactly at the Fed, and we are on a 4-hour chart, but if you go on 1-hour chart, we have AB equals CD, reload zone. I put a long in this area, 2 to 1, take profit hit. Now we have a short because it's my setup and I want to play it. 61.8 to 78.6. This is just on Bitcoin. I shorted the market on every bounce until this reload zone. So was a damn way to make money. My newsletter, my weekly newsletter, I had the same idea. The weekly chart, yeah, we are oversold. The trend is down, but I expect a bounce likely to the 27, 30K. I still expect that. Now the Fed is behind us, so we still have GDP today, I guess, today in my time zone. But I still expect the market to go up to the 27 or 30K. P-cycle top and bottom give us a signal a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it was a nice signal exactly at 18K, 70K, 70K. So was a nice signal to pick up on this one if you like this indicator. On daily chart, the daily chart was just a range. We broke out from the range last week, just retested the range. I told the people I expect a consolidation till the Fed. This is the chart I was talking about on 4 hours chart. On Sunday, I said we'll go down to the pump chaser, to the reload zone, where I think we'll get a nice opportunity to take a swing long trade. I have some position on spot exactly at when Bitcoin hit the reload zone. On my favorite tool to frame the market, the range, we are still in, we are still in this range. So I like that because I like to play the range. Works damn well to make money. It's easy to trade if you know how to do it. Bitcoin dominance. We are in Sunday.
I'm sorry. I sorry to interrupt. Where did you learn how to trade?
Where I learned what to do, what to trade from Brian Beamish at DRI.
Thank you. Shameless plug. Thank you.
Yeah. Everything I know about market is from Brian Beamish. I listened to him 3 years, almost 4 years now. The Bitcoin dominance, middle of the range from my point of view from Sunday when I made this newsletter. Maybe pointing a bit down the dominance of the. I didn't look now at the. In this moment, I don't have but I'll put the range. Let's see, BTC dominance. I want to see now. 4 days. I said. Let's see. Yeah, it's the same picture. Not too much different. We just broke the middle of the range, retested, and now we're going down with Bitcoin dominance. But you'll have to wait the end of the week. Maybe you'll go to the bottom of the range on this chart.
That's cool. So that implies Ethereum is outperforming.
Yeah, Ethereum and altcoin is outperforming Bitcoin now.
Yeah, I like that thinking. Yep.
Yeah. So dominance, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Yeah, we had on weekly chart. Someone last time asked me why I said I put a trade. I said about a trade on this chart. This chart I'm just using like Bitcoin dominance for to see the direction of the market. It's not for trading. I don't trade Ethereum Bitcoin chart. I just use it for a direction in the market to give me an edge. So I said this trend line is behaving like a resistance now. We are at the middle of the range. Let's see now how is that chart. Ethereum, BTC. Real time, I want to see it on one weekly chart. Yeah, maybe it broke out, but you know the LJ. I have to see a W the other side of this trend line to be maybe on daily chart to be bullish on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. But yeah, it's a good sign. It's a good sign for Ethereum. Let's see one day, maybe I'll see it more. Yeah, I don't see any reason. I don't have. This is a bit bearish. This one on daily chart, but we'll have to wait until the end of the week to see how it is looking. Let's go back. The total two market cap without
That
Bitcoin.
thing sure looked like it wanted to pop to me. Holy moly! I mean, this isn't
This
really
one?
it's not really the best trade location, but you can clearly see that chart
Yeah,
that
if
you
you
were
break
looking at.
that trend line and put it like support, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a terrible trade location, but you can see on that lower time frame, this looks like it's making a massive bull flag, and we're just making the actual flag now. You see that hammer candle, the very last candle? That's it's starting to make the flag right now. And I could easily see this yeah, there is the flag. In fact,
well, inverse head and inverse empire.
Yeah, well, this is an interesting level. Like if you can really zoom in, you can zoom right in. That's zooming out. Zoom in.
Yeah.
You can see the inverted empire. If we break this high here, that's also a little bull flag. So it's almost like there's going to be some sort of like orgy blow off top here. The only problem is that's probably the end of the move, and that probably sets up divergences and stuff. So, like I said, I don't like the trade location, but I could definitely see that thing pop.
Yeah, could be. It would go into the top of the range. This short reload zone from this high to low, the low to high in this one.
Yeah.
You can go on the short reload zone.
Oh, you know, do you use the foggy boggies at all?
Yeah.
It would be good to do like a fog and bomb off of the bottom of that red candle there.
This one?
Up, yeah, the bottom of that candle up against the previous candle's high.
This one?
Yeah, that range down to the bottom of that red candle, and then do the fog and bomb up.
From this top to this bottom, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a second.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. At this level, we have some resistance now. But
so this is
the next level?
Yeah. And actually, what's cool is you could probably do an AB off of these two past green candles, because they're pretty big, eh? So do a ray from the top of that candle that just happened back to the, that high down back, that to there. And then clone that and then project that low off of whatever this candle's low is. Yeah, exactly. Somewhere up in there. So what this might mean is that actually we have to drag that second white ray. We have to drag that along. No, we might actually have to make a lower low here to have that ABCD line up with that fog and bomb target. So this is a dangerous place to take a trade on this thing, and I think I like Paul's comment that we're not really trading this. That's dangerous. But
I don't want to trade that. I just want to see this one to give me an edge to see the market.
Right. So I really like how the 2.618 there basically, if you can zoom in on like say a 4-hour chart on there, I think this is this is like the definition of chaos. What does chaos look like? So there's the Feigenbaum level. You can see the red line. And look how price acted around that red line up there. This is where you get the real bang for your buck. Understanding what's going on here is literally price is chaotic right now. We got to let the price tell us what it wants to do next. Now, the interesting thing is if we break out through the top here, could you not do a Feigenbaum off of that range going up top?
Yeah.
And where does that 2.618 line up? I got a funny feeling that 2.618 is going to line up with that 4.669.
From this high to the low?
No. Go back down to that lower time frame that you had.
Hold on.
Okay, so that W right there.
This
so
one.
That
this
high
one
there,
the
back to that low. Do a
yeah.
Feigenbaum up top. And the problem is that I've given away the universe's secrets. So many of you guys are going to be watching this and using this now. It's probably going to stop working.
You already do.
So let's see. Now that's an interesting image, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can see chaos is going to come in around 8.1. And you can see how the ABCD, if this plays out, right? And that means that we gotta break out through that high that Paul just had his mouse on, right? 0723. We gotta break that high. And if we do, I think we're zipping up into that 2.618. And look at the harmonics on that. The harmonics are perfect. Damn.
Yeah.
That's you know what we're doing here? Is we're actually seeing the cadence of the universe. I don't know whether you guys understand how incredibly important this is. It's like literally we have the tool set. Like most of the time when I listen to YouTubers, they don't understand. They can't put the price action into context. But here you can understand what the W is implying with regard to price action. All this W is going to do is it's just going to validate the harmonic wave of the market here. Can you see the wave? It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't know, maybe
I need a lot of experience to see the wave. You have to look at some charts first to see the W's, to see the bottoms, to see the setups.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely this ironically enough, this whole COVID experience keeping us locked in our little prison cells and me just concentrating on price action like over the top over the past 3 years here and learning about actually how this chaos theory works. I tell you, man, this is JoJo's gift to me. So thank you, JoJo. I appreciate it. Oh man, this is incredible. And I even heard you say earlier, what would be a good trade location to consider a short? Something about candle bodies. How does that go again?
Candle bodies high.
Do it. Yeah, it's
a short reload zone.
Look at that. So do a nice little horizontal line right off those candle body highs. And now actually what you're starting to see is this idea of confluence where what you really want to do, you want to zoom out on higher time frame charts and just let the market speak to you. What do you want, Mr. Market? I'm seeing 4 very compelling messages from Mr. Market that if I'm heading higher, I really want that 849 area.
Yes, 849, yeah.
I mean, this is where the poetry of the market starts to come into the conversation. Beautiful.
8.5.
It's really beautiful. In fact, if you could take a screenshot of that, I think that image right there is extremely valuable.
This one, that.
That one. Very valuable image.
Copy link or copy image?
You know, like, this is the kind of thing where maybe just throw it in the lounge or something like that, just so we have it. You know, I mean, we have, of course, the spreadsheet. I don't know, do we do ETH BTC? But that's a beautiful image. Ben, is there any way we could put that into the app?
Yeah, we could do that. I could add a column for it. I think it's a good intermarket analysis to have.
That's fantastic analysis. It's absolutely beautiful. And now the interesting thing is, let's drill back down to, like, say, that 4-hour chart. And who can tell me, is there a setup that crazy Beamish guy likes to trade that could somehow get him into a trade on this? And since Paul's not trading this, we don't have to worry about stepping on his toes. But is there a setup that could potentially develop here over the next few days that would enable Brian to try and sneak in and ride this inertia move up here? The answer is 3 letters. First letter starts with the same letter of my first name. Do I have to spell it out anymore for you? So it'd be interesting, right? Let's break this trade down for the good people. If you take your fib off of that 100 and drag it right back down against that low, well, no, I would go off of the most recent high. Yeah. All the way down to the bottom. Yep, that's fine. All right, so did we correct 33% of this move?
We'll see.
We did.
Yep.
Son of a gun. So you can clone that study and actually change the levels to 25, 50, and 66. These are the numbers that I use to trade. And when he shows you that 25 level, it's going to show you the level that you'd like to see market structure to develop off of.
Let's go on 8 hours maybe. Will be on.
Well, I mean, the point here is I don't think we have a signal right here. If I was hunting a setup, you know, I'm chicken poop by nature. So I like to see lots of W's. So could I be patient and disciplined and just simply wait? I think you said you're short off a lower time frame chart right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, maybe we'll have crypto pause here for a couple days. You know, this relationship here, maybe Ethereum comes down a little bit more than Bitcoin. But
yeah, makes a nice W.
Exactly. And what a coincidence. Do you see that sloping trend line? I mean, it looks to me like this is a pretty darn important level for crypto. I mean, I don't know where this trend line begins, but clearly this is some sort of pivot. There it is, right? So can we get a nice buy signal to develop off of this actual trend line? I.e., can I get a W to come in, you know, on this trend line? So interestingly enough, I can actually see the trade setting up for a guy like me. We're still early, you know, maybe a week away. But I could see something develop here that's going to take us up top. And like I said, we've been given this gift from the universe. Thank you, JoJo. This is, you know, having this chaos theory tool in our tool belt gives us just incredible edge. So, you know, if anything, this is our gift to you watching this video. If you want to come to TRI and, of course, learn it, I think we don't really have a formal education program, but I'll probably be getting on that sooner rather than later because I think now I have enough anecdotal evidence to build an educational sort of program off of this. But continue your presentation, sir. I didn't mean to derail you. I was blown away when I saw that image there. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm going to put myself on mute again. Sorry, sir. Go ahead.
Not a problem. So the total due market cap, all the altcoins without BTC was at, I guess, the 648 billion. We just bounced from the 500, from the all-time highs from 2017. Let's see now, what do you have on this on this chart. Until, let's see. Yeah, on the same area now. I don't see any change from when I made the newsletter. But yeah, it's looking nice. Maybe a nice W. We have something here, but it's not a clear W. If you go on line chart, you'll see it's not a W, a clear one. You have a lower low. It's a small W. It's not the way I like the W. Maybe we have to go again and make a nice one, a reload zone, even test this candle body. I don't know. We'll have to wait. We have some divergence. It's not confirmed yet on the histogram of MACD. You still have to confirm this higher than this level, and then maybe looking for a nice W. There's not any hurry now, but I like the bounce from the all-time high, so from 2017. When I wrote a different number like that. Yeah, let's go and see the calendar for this week was a bit busy with big news events. Keep in mind, tomorrow we have the spending, and we'll still have news tomorrow. So I don't know, maybe just wait a bit. GDP, it's a damn big report, so could drag us down back in the reload zone and give us another opportunity to long the market. But we'll just have to wait and see. It could be a nice second opportunity to long the market for the summer rally. Yeah, this is the usual note to don't trade before and after the report. Altcoins, they form a bottom, and I said from the Sunday, a pullback and the reload zone can provide a nice entry for the. Yeah, I get some altcoins on a nice level. Already, some of them I just took partial profit because it was like a day trade on some of them. Some of them I still have. The spot position, they are still on. I'll ride the whole wave until the fall. From my perspective, the trading condition also slowly starting to change from hard to easy. This is just my opinion. Maybe some of you find the market is still on hard mode. But from my point of view, what I see in my group, the people start to find nice entries. Even the beginners start to see the market a bit easy. So that is my way of seeing the market. I posted in my Twitter this thread. This was on 21. I said exactly this picture, and I said I expect the redraw and the reload zone and pump afterwards. This time worked damn nice. I still expect to hit this level, the short reload zone, but I don't know when. Maybe next week. Yeah, the take profit was after I post this one. The take profit was already hit. Now I'm short from 61.8. So I hit this level. I took profits in this area, and I immediately switched to short on this level. Now I have to play the short mountain man. I just put 2 to 1. Maybe I'll just trail a bit lower, but I don't know. I'll just wait. Put a simple reload zone in this area and just wait and see how market reacts. It's not a buying opportunity now for me. The opportunity was yesterday, the other day. I made a nice profit in crypto and altcoins. I talked about Solana last time, I guess. I don't remember exactly, but let's see. Yeah, we had the long reload zone. I was expecting a W in this area, but I didn't get a nice W. This could be considered a W. Let's put the 4-hour chart. Yeah, I don't like this like a W, but I did go on a smaller time frame, and then I put the trend line, and I just took the LJ on this level. Now to continue up, I have to see a W on this trend line, the other side of this trend line. If we broke below this trend line, we'll go. I'll just have to draw the reload zone and wait in the reload zone to hit the mountain man. Maybe I don't think I hit the mountain man in Bitcoin and Ethereum chart. In Alcon land, it's a bit tough to hit the 61.8. I noticed it's better to use the chart to hit the 78.6 level. But 61.8 on altcoins, no, I don't like that. We had signs on 4-hour chart about divergence. We had something even on the OBV. You see one divergence is confirmed. Now this one, even on this level, this one was confirmed on this candle. So on this move up, we already have double divergence in the MACD histogram. Most of the altcoins look similar, but to continue up, I need a nice W on, I guess, 1-hour chart above this trend line to maybe try another long. If not, reload zone is the best place to search for entry in this altcoin. Almost every altcoin looks similar. There are some delays. Dot was a bit down, just a reload zone, but look at that. On the news event on the Fed and Bitcoin talking off, this was just made a damn nice move up. From my point of view, it's damn late. I will search for a short in this area if I want to hedge my longs position. It's too early for me to take a short on this one, but maybe I'll see something. No, I don't have anything. I just have to wait. Approximately all the big altcoins, they look the same like Solana. It's a good way to look at the market with Solana because it's a big cap. So I like Solana to see what the other altcoins do. I personally took, I guess, five or six altcoins. I played out with I pick up on this level. One of them was AVAX. One of them was AVAX at this level. This level was the nice level for me. We had the W, and I just go and put a position here at the retest. I took another shot. I add to my position, and I made a nice profit. I closed some of that in this area. I still have some. I'll just wait. I have my stop to scratch. I'll just wait on this position because it's not a scalp, a day trade, so I couldn't let the trade run. I don't know what will happen. I just play setups. Maybe it'll go up. It's looking okay, but from my point of view, this is AVAX. Yeah, this is the short reload zone now. So at least I don't want to put a long in this area. I would prefer to break up higher and then retest it and then maybe look for a long. If I want to long on this, I want to long now. But in this area, I don't like a long. Maybe we retrace, we make a 33% retracement, we make a bot setup, maybe go to the reload zone. I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see how market will behave this week and next week. But was a nice market from the Sunday, Monday, yesterday to pick up some altcoins. and make a nice profit. So this is for me. I don't delete. I usually trade with this indicator. Is my indicator is made by me, and I like to frame my trade with other tools and just trail my stop loss with this one. I could ride the old micro trend with this indicator. I just I'll trail the stop loss behind this green line, and it's working damn nice. All the people they trade with me, they have this tool and they like it. I didn't see any person said this one is not working well. I use it for trailing stops to keep me in the trade. How much time is possible until the trend is broken. So if you pick up some Ethereum down there, you'll still be in the trade now. Yeah, that's it for me. I don't know if someone has any question.
Impressive. What's the closing line in your newsletter again? Show us that screenshot.
Every time. The closing thought: treat trading like a business, and market will treat you like a king.
Nice. King of Romania.
You don't expect the market to treat you like a king if you don't do your part. Treat trading like a business.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be pretty serious. Plan,
setups, risk management, and all that.
Exactly. Well said.
If you don't do your part, you don't see any results in there.
Like a king, the Matador says. Hey, nicely said. And pretty handsome looking Twitter page there too, eh?
So, yeah, it's my personal page.
Yeah, you're doing great. You also have a Discord group as well, right?
Yeah, I have a Discord group. So premium membership and a free membership, but I try to keep it small. I don't want to promote it too much.
Fair enough.
Because I like the community. It's just people interested in trading crypto.
Yeah.
Not too much investing, but trading, day trading, to learn the process, to keep a journal, to journal all the trades. And it's a nice way to have someone to talk about trading, because outside of TRI, I don't have anyone to talk about crypto. And everyone is looking for a space to be in the crypto community, to talk about crypto, to finance projects. So it's a nice small community. I like it.
Good. Well, I think it's 1 + 1 = 3. There's a number of different ways to skin this cat. I like Paul's approach. I think Paul bought my message, and he's taken that message full bore. It's beautiful to watch. So thank you very much for the contribution here tonight, and I think everybody's a little bit wiser. I don't know whether can we maybe take a couple screenshots of some of the names, like the AVAX in particular, and fire them into the spreadsheet. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not as well. I mean, it's great material.
It is great. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
where would be the best place to grab those for?
Maybe Paul,
in the TRI.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Like in the room there, I see you posted one chart. I guess that was the ETH.
Yeah. I'll post in the.
But like room. I see like that AVAX chart and a couple of the other altcoins that you looked at, because we just can't get to everyone. So every little bit of information is extremely valuable.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That was a great presentation. Thank you, Paul. That was really, really informative. Let's see. Now, how are we going to go with this? I think, first and foremost, we got Paul here. If you have any questions, feel free to post it over there on the YouTube page. We got about 20 or so people watching, so it's not so bad. And I suppose also, too, hit the like button, subscribe, ring Colleen's bell, please, everybody. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I suppose you got to be a TRIer to know who Colleen is. I think she calls herself Nanny Crypto on Twitter too. So anyway, but if you do have a question, feel free to write your question there in the YouTube chat box there. We'd be more than happy to get Paul to answer.
I forgot to speak about something. I have in the group. I have a trader who didn't know before coming in the group. Didn't know the process. He knows a lot of TA, maybe more than me, but he didn't know the process. And look at here is the results now. So you see, win ratio, the profit factor, risk ratio.
Good.
So what Brian is trying to teach us in level 1, the process, is the most important thing. If you learn the process, doesn't matter what tools do you use to frame the market, what setups you use, but the process is the most important thing in the crypto market, in the trading business and investing.
Yeah.
If you have the process, you have everything you need. The tools, the TA, yeah, you can do it different ways, market structure, Fibonacci, anything you want. This man knows TA, a lot of TA, but he didn't manage to make profit in the crypto market. And now look at his results. I even have, I didn't post here, but I have the chart with all the trades logged in. But he took it seriously and logged every damn trade. So what Brian teaches us is working I guarantee you is working. But you have to stick to the process.
And how does this gentleman feel when you talk to him now?
Yeah, he's helping me in my Discord group and is killing the market, honestly. If I show you some trades he made, some sniper pinpoint entries, yeah. He knows a lot of TA, so he just needed the process. He didn't understand why he's not making profit.
What a beautiful sales pitch. That was perfect. Well said. In fact, maybe I might even have Chris come and take a clip of what you just said there. That's that's beautiful. Perfectly.
Yeah,
said.
even could do.
Perfectly said.
I know it's a bit early for us in Romania, but maybe one day I'll invite him on this show too.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean,
yeah,
the good part about it is we're coming over to Portugal there. I sure would, is it possible for you to hop on a plane?
No, I have to smoke this. It's a bit tough for me this time.
Would you be pissed off if I just hopped on a bus and I just turned up at your doorstep one day?
No.
I'm the type of guy I might just do it, so be careful. But
it's a good thing you don't know my address, but
I'll find you. I'll judge. Anyway, that was a great testament, and very simply put, everybody, I used to, tongue in cheek, I used to tell people, look at if I used to get. Use if the dog food lands in the dog bowl on the left side, and that's a buy signal, and it works more than 2/3 of the time, then hey, I'm gonna be watching where that dog food lands on the dog bowl. The actual signaling mechanism is, ironically enough, the least important thing out of this whole damn thing called trading. I mean, that's the irony of it all. Some people just like to call them squiggly lines. I don't care what squiggly lines you use. If it works and it gives you edge, the key here is understanding that if you take a bet, you just got to make darn sure that you get paid if you're right. That's the key to this game, because you're never going to be right 100% of the time. Just get used to it. So, it's interesting. I think Paul's gentleman there said he had about a 61% win rate. So,
2.5 risk to reward.
Well, that's awesome. I love that. That's called the getting paid part. But the point here is that gentleman, he's wrong almost the better part of 40% of the time. So how the heck do you actually make a profit, make a living out of being wrong 40% of the time? And the key, folks, is when you're right, you got to get paid. You got it. You have to learn that. And the only way to frame yourself to be able to put yourself into a position where you do that consistently is you got to have a plan. And in the plan, it actually predetermines where you're going to buy, what you're going to risk to, where you're going to get paid. It's just that simple, folks. And it's beautiful to hear that Paul... And, you know, I remember when I first started teaching this course, there was one guy who took the program. He said, Brian, I know why you're teaching this. And you're teaching us how to do this so that you can convince your subconscious that you know this. And, of course, it's valid. And I think I'm actually seeing that now with Paul. Is if he can impart the information onto another person, then Paul himself starts to believe in the process even more. And that's great to see. So the sky's the limit for a guy like Paul. Sky's absolutely the limit for you, sir. I'm so proud of you, man.
When I have a community and I have people trading with me, I'll keep me sharp and keep me honest. I'll be careful what entries I'll get. I'll not be sloppy. I even try to make another challenge, 1,000 to 10,000 from the beginning of the next month.
Good for you, right? And you gotta have chutzpah to be able to put yourself into that kind of position. I mean, you gotta have, you know. And if it's one thing that I think Paul has is he's got chutzpah. So so proud of you, man. So proud of you. And
you have to be sharp. Continue to be sharp.
You listen to Paul. I mean, his analysis is spot on. He could very easily get a job at any Wall Street firm. He could literally. He doesn't even realize it, especially with the way crypto is evolving here. Paul could very easily walk down Wall Street, and there could be a bidding war for his services. And if anything, it's probably best that we keep Paul sort of secret here. Fine, you do your Discord group. You stay there in Romania, okay, Paul? Because if the word gets out that these TRIers...
No. I like to trade my money. I like to have the community. I don't...
Oh, yeah, but when some jerk
some
guy's going to throw $1 billion at you, and I bet you that changes your tune real quick.
No. If it's a job, I don't like it.
All right, anyway, enough said. Great analysis. Now... we're about 20 minutes past 7 o'clock here on the Wet Coast, which means we got about 40 minutes left. I mean, really, I don't know. Ben, do you want to add anything to this conversation here tonight?
No, nothing in particular. I mean, I did see just a couple of people asking for some things over on the YouTube channel.
Okay. I guess my question was, what do we want to do with the remaining 40 minutes we got here tonight? Shall we go through some of the questions?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and we can fill out the spreadsheet if they relate to anything
sure.
in there, or add in new columns if there's anything that maybe is in the top list that people are referring to that weren't in there when we started it. But yeah, I think taking a look at some charts and giving some people some things to think about would be great.
And the great part about it is I've trained these guys so well, I don't even have to do the charts now. So, Paul, I think you're going to drive the bus tonight. So,
what? No.
Anyway.
Too much talking for me.
Tafal, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Tafai? I'm not sure. Sorry if I'm doing it wrong. He says, hi all, I'm wondering what you think about non-blue chip altcoins. There are blue chip altcoins? That's a new one to me. That is coins built on Solana, Ethereum, etc. So I guess they're like the tokens that are on these networks. I am currently looking at Ray. Any idea what Ray is? Does that sound familiar to you?
He's a favorite project from Colin
Right.
from Hydro Labs. In the past, I don't know now, but I know I know it was a project today, but he's not on Binance, I guess. Let me check, but I think he's only on DeFi.
Well, and so that's a really good question. I wouldn't mind picking your guys'
Yeah,
brain.
we have Ray.
Oh, there you go.
Even
It is
on
on
even
Binance.
on futures. Yeah, I didn't
Hmm.
look at that, but let's go one day at least. We'll see.
Well, let's see. Ooh, that's a good looking chart.
Yeah, it's looking nice.
Look at the
We have
OBV down
definitely
there.
it's cheap and we have location, a lot of room up. Yeah, I know the chart has to have some history here, but on Binance it's just that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's looking nice from a little old lady perspective, for an investor perspective. Yeah, W, another big W, retest. This is a inverse empire. So yeah,
It's not a terrible idea.
no, but
Um,
I don't know if it's ready to pump now. Maybe a bit more consolidation from my perspective. I don't
so
know
I
if
get.
now is the time to invest in this one.
Mm,
Well, for our chart, yeah, but some bearish divergence in here, some bullish one in here. Now it's I don't know. For a little old lady from little old lady perspective, yeah, it's a damn nice level to hit now to put 0.5%. From a swing trader, maybe yeah, maybe no. I don't know. For the day trader, I stick with the Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't like to trade the altcoin.
okay. Makes sense. The good part
Now we'll
about
see.
this, what I
It'll be a
see, is
very
you're not chasing. So always a good idea. In altcoins, I mean, hell, this thing, if it works, it'll 100x. So,
yeah.
but the most important thing is you got to make sure don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. So, oh, all right. So Paul's giving you the thumbs up. I guess the question here is any idea what these guys actually do? Are they actually building anything of any consequence, or is it just just another altcoin that'll just do its thing? And the
I
problem,
remember
go ahead.
I remember Colin was thrilled about this coin in the past, last year, last. So I guess it has some good fundamentals because I know Colin will not pick up a
Oh,
project without his fundamental analysis.
interesting. Draw a trend line off of that top, and let's see whether we've broken through that downtrend line yet.
From this one
Yeah.
or this.
No, no, I would do off that original M. Yeah, there. So whatever that trend line is, that's probably you got. For this to be, it's a bull. Ah, we're going to the moon. You want to see a W on the other side of that line. So how long does that take? The problem here, guys, is that we're probably gonna. I mean, this shit has fallen so much that you're probably gonna have some pretty respectable dead cat bounces here. Oh, that's good. Look
Yeah,
at that. It did break
we are
through.
the
That's
other
good.
side. Yeah,
All right, actually,
we
that's
even make
good.
a
There's
W.
oh, son of a bitch. This thing's getting my attention.
Yeah,
That's not bad. I mean, draw a horizontal ray off of that W level there, and frankly speaking, that's a buy level as far as I'm concerned.
yeah. We can draw a Jaws level also.
Oh yeah, if you really want to get fancy.
Yeah,
I
if you
might.
want
I
to
would
be
go a little bit off of the candle, the previous candle there.
this one and this one, no?
Well, that horizontal line looked like it was drawn off of the high, the bar following the high, but that's okay. I mean, the point of the matter here is, you all see the W there, so that W is my cue that hey, something's turned here. So that's cool. Way to go. Point. What does that say? 83 cents. It'd be interesting to see if there's any gaps up above. This is the kind of name you go and throw a couple bucks at, see if you can get it, sell half of it when it doubles in price, and then really just forget about the rest. If it goes 100x, call me up when you get your Lambo and I'll go for a test drive with you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This is kind of
yeah, see that? So that horizontal line should be off of the high, off of that 8.3 number. Yeah, there. So that's your buy level. And it's interesting how, I mean, you want to let this inverted empire here dictate you pulling the trigger. I mean, it's a very, very small risk window. You know, you might drill down to like a, I mean, if you're going to trade this, like little old ladies, I really wouldn't have a problem with you little old ladies just going and picking up a little bit of this. The traders, I think your signal here to pull the trigger is if that inverted empire fires, you just go with the trade. If it doesn't, then I would draw a trend line off of those lows, and the trend line probably lines up nicely with the reload zone. Yeah, I do it off of the original low. There, good to there. Yeah, that's your trend line. Boom. Boom. And then if you do a fib from that high back down to these lows, my hunch is the reload zone somewhere down in that bottom area. So, you know, this could be like Brian Cheap Ass. I'm going to throw in my bid at 78.6 and see if I can get like a stink bid fill. Yeah, there you go. So, I guess those are, that's 61.8 to 78.6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's your, and I like this because this is confluence now, right? Probably if we looked at volume profile, you'd see that down there around 65, 70 cents, we're below value, which means that you're, yeah. Oh, look at that. This stuff writes itself. So if you really want to get cheeky and, you know, maybe show that chart, zoom that chart in for me if you could, Paul. Show your sharpshooter trader buddy that chart and just say that Beamish guy that I did the show with, he wants you to pay attention somewhere around 69 cents, somewhere in that area. 67 cents. Yeah, somewhere between, let's say 65 and 70. I think that's your sharpshooter level there. But that's predicated on this.
From his opinion, I guess this will be a level like in this level and then this level.
Yeah.
I'll just share. I'll send him this chart and let him do his own analysis, and I'll just post it on TRI afterwards without saying anything. I'll just make an analysis on this one.
Right on. What I would say is you could even do a downtrend line off of our 8.3 level against that inverted empire low. And my hunch is that's where the market pivots. Now, off of the 8.3, you see where your 100% is, that high?
This one?
8.3, where you see that where the 100, that high right there, draw a trend line off of that peak against this inverted empire low. And if we fail here, there you go. See, look at that. X marks the spot. So show him that chart. Put a circle right over that level and show your buddy that chart and say, what do you think? That's a level Beamish is interested in. There you go. Somebody says, unfortunately, ETHSOLETC, I guess that's etc. Level ones are wasting everyone's time, including their own. All right. Well, that's my tip for the day. Thank you, B. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, the interesting thing is, do you believe in this DeFi dream? I don't know. I don't know whether I've been really totally sold on this DeFi dream yet or not. And actually, you guys were saying, Ben, didn't you say earlier that Mr. Wonderful's coming back to the space? So, you know, maybe we're gonna. And did you guys listen to Colin this morning?
No, I missed that.
I think I remember he said, because I heard you made. I mean, this is one of Colin's names, right? So.
Yeah, I know he was interested. I had a position.
Yeah.
Even I guess investment one, if I remember correctly.
Oh, you know, I'd also draw a downtrend line off of that recent M top there. And of course, our rule is give me a W on the other side of that downtrend line. So you could probably drill down to like a 4 hour, and as soon as the W is on the other side of that trend line, Then you got yourself probably the trade.
A nice LD.
Yeah, so if you draw, see that well-defined M up there, if you draw a trend line off of that, this thing will start trending higher in earnest when it's on the other side of that trend line.
From this high?
Yeah.
You mean this one?
Yeah, but they all look like they're aligned nicely. Yeah, look at that, eh? Boink.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether right here is such a good idea, but you know, this is actually like a D. Oh, look at that. we're gonna give your buddy here some real juicy ammunition, and if you could print that chart off, I wouldn't mind talking about that in the Daily Brief, because that's your sharpshooter trader stuff. The only problem with these
for our chart or the daily one?
Well, that's fine. Just that one right there is perfect. If you could throw that in a lounge, that would be awesome. Maybe even Ben. I don't know. Do we want to throw that on our spreadsheet?
Yeah, and then maybe we could look at some indicators, fill out those cells on the spreadsheet. And
this is a 4-hour though, so I don't know whether like if you go back to your daily chart, Paul, maybe we throw the indicators on. Yeah. Okay. So there's the Ray chart. So now we go back to the daily and let's see what the indicators have to say. Maybe they're all screaming sell. Yeah, see, I don't, that MACD bothers me. I don't like the look of that, to be honest with you. Something's not right about that.
We have a bullish divergence, but
there, but now, actually, we have a bearish divergence. Because price made a new high there, but MACD did not. So there's something problematic with the price momentum, which I think gets resolved, and I think you can move your circle over almost probably where all three of those lines intersect. That's probably where we're going. Yeah, like wherever that is, somewhere in there. So
yeah, probably.
I'm not impressed with momentum here. I'll tell you that much. Price momentum. Price momentum. Okay, BD says I'll split it up. All right.
Yeah, it's a good idea though. Need a little lady style on this one.
So somebody, this BD guy seems to be quite active. He says the funniest guys, there's a rather large message above those, and it seems to be unhighlighted and may not have been sent through. Anyway, guys, I mean, any idea what the heck he's talking about?
I get the impression that maybe he wrote a message and it was too long, so maybe he's going to split out the message.
Oh, okay, maybe that could be. I mean, keep in mind YouTube, they have fun with us here. They kind of tease us. All right, so anyway, long and short of it, BD not overly impressed with these non-scalable blockchains. All right, fair enough. You know, the way that I would look at this is it's all venture capital. And if you threw like $500 at something like this, you sold half if it doubles over the next year or two, and then it 100x's, that's $250 left, turns into $25,000. So is it worth taking a shot on these things for the little bit of money? It's not a bad idea. And hey, if you say, well, I don't know, Beamish, I don't think you can do it. Trust me, I've done it multiple times on these funny little altcoins. So who knows? Can we predict the future? I don't know. I mean, are you coming in and look at, oh, there's Paul. Paul's like, okay, I got to get back to my trading. Sorry. That's great. Do you want me to take over, or have you had enough charting?
Yeah, it's okay if you want.
Okay.
I'm just searching for a scalp. I have the shot and I want to see.
Talk about I think that's a crack addicted trader.
Yeah.
Trading is his crack.
Yeah.
Anyway, definitely. Great job, sir. Great job. So let's see. How am I going to do this? We'll pop on over here. You can go back to hunting setups, which is perfectly fine. I mean, that's fucking awesome, man. All right, here we are. So, you know, it's interesting. There is my inverted empire. Keep in mind, I'm seeing a whole bunch of this stuff all over the market here. I do find it interesting that we just went through that decennial window when the market should turn. And I do find it interesting that the Fed raised interest rates 75 basis points and risk assets actually jumped up. Like I said, that's usually a sign that the market's relatively happy. So we'll see what happens. I certainly wouldn't call these shorts just yet, but I do know. I think I heard Paul said that he does have a short on Bitcoin up top there. So we'll wish him luck on that. All right, he's taking off for a smoke. You got the Beamish here to look at charts for the next little bit. Anybody have? Okay, so, and actually it'll be interesting. Maybe I'll just throw on that ray and I'll show you what bothers me here. I'll tell you, man. I mean, like 200 SMA sitting all the way up there at $2.50. Here we are at 83 cents. Like I said, is this a kind of situation where you're just simply going to go and nibble and see if you can get that sell half on a double, which is actually just nothing more than a test of value high. And then, you know, I mean, gee whiz, there's a lot of money to be made on this thing, folks. And as I had said earlier, I think that the most important thing here to sort of signal that this is a new bull market is, can the market actually get on the other side of this trend line and actually start showing signs of W's, which I think we actually saw right there. So fascinating. As I said, the one thing that bothers me about this chart is I don't like the way that MACD, show you what that div looks like. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. So this actually, the div is like there to there. And it would be like okay, except for the fact that we went through the support line there. So we've done some technical damage here. There's no doubt about that. Now, interestingly enough, this rally right here, just back to momentum resistance, that might produce a pretty significant rally in price itself. I have seen that happen. So, you know, being so cheap, it's the kind of name that I just have to ask. You know, we kind of feel like the market's going into kind of a frothy next couple months. Got the W's working. Is it worth taking an anti-nibble on this thing? Maybe let's, you know, like I said, I don't like the momentum picture. That's a bit disturbing. But considering, you know, you know what I like? I think I like that idea of that reload zone bid that we were showing. I really like that idea. So there to there and there to there. If it does inverted empire, as I said there earlier, I mean, you could go with the trade, and this is your risk window, the empire. It's not really the best trade location. The best trade location, as far as I'm concerned, would be like something like down in here, right against that. Wicks and tails like to be eaten. I have a lot. In fact, actually, there's a trade in our library that looks almost identical to this, where I bought off of the 78.6 and it just jackknifed straight up last cycle. Actually, I guess 2 cycles ago. So, I guess the way I would say is higher time frame, wicked location. I mean, right down at the bottom end of the range. Indicator confirmation. I'm a little leery about that. Yeah, we just don't have enough data on the weeklies. And you really don't know where this thing actually came from. That's the one thing I don't like about these listings on Binance. And the problem here is that says 83 cents. This thing might have come at from like 0.000008 cents. I mean, you really don't know how low that low is. So, nanny nibble. Okay, what the hell. You're going to go and take a little shot here. I think trade-wise, you could ride the inertia of this thing on that inverted empire, let it break. That's probably not a trade I would do. Stink bid. Brian's a cheap ass. I like the idea of hunting, stinky bids down at the bottom of value here. That would be a typical trade of a guy like me. So, anyway. Okay, I think we gave you the 2 cents. Ben, what could we do to include this in here? What else am I missing that we should have in here?
So we've got location, indicator confirmation.
So I think I'm going to go like... the irony of it all is that if we were having this conversation a month ago and we just saw this breakout happening and momentum was still working here, we'd probably give it a pretty good rating. Was that the rally there? Was that it? I hope not. So, yeah, that's a tough one. Kind of late to the party, Up top here. Yeah, I like a bid. And this is the same thing I was saying to Paul. He should tell his buddies. Maybe 67 cents somewhere in there. I don't like the way the indicators look here. This doesn't look good, indicator-wise. So I'd put a meh under the indicators. And then I think I'd probably have to say under the market structure column, I'd say there is a W working, but it's an older one. And we're testing it. Now, how do you write all that in like 4 letters? I don't know. That's a tough one. What do you think we should write in all this?
Yeah, I guess that is a tough one. Market structure. It's aging, right?
Aging. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. Aging. Yeah.
But could just be putting in a bigger W.
Yeah, you know what I'd be, the question I would have is what happened on July 14th? Because that's probably, what was the news? What was this event? If it was like one of these, like it listed on Coinbase or something that day, then I might be pretty skeptical. If they announced that actually there was some big corporate partnership, there was actually some sort of actual, like, the network is being used by, the U.S. Department of Defense or something. Oh, boy. All hell's going to break loose. Love that. So what can you actually sink your teeth in? Whoever was asking about this thing, give me a fundamental story. Give me. I want to be excited about this. So when I go to the cocktail party, I tell people, well, I bought this because of this awesome potential development.
I think it's interesting that on July 14th, you say?
Yeah.
Ethereum was just ratcheting higher. And if you look at the Ray USDT over Ethereum USDT, it came down that day too. So it started to come down around there. So maybe it's a case of people offloading some alts and jumping onto the blue chip Ethereum, but ultimately
so
everything's like
Ray
had an Ethereum pairing, right? So,
so you're saying this was probably driven by Ray versus Ethereum?
Well, just Ethereum going up, right? If Ethereum takes off,
like you have to buy it on Sushi Swap.
Yeah. Not so much that people were directly selling their Ray for Ethereum, but you often look, am I worthwhile holding this alt versus holding Ethereum, right? That's the way that I sometimes look at it, because
this thing, it jumped up precipitously that day from started the day at like 73 cents, finished up 86 cents. And it did like 24 million coins, or whatever the hell these things are, tokens. So somebody had an appetite, and it broke out through a previous high. So, like I said, somebody had some sort of buying appetite. Mr. BD, wow, he's all over. Let's see what he's saying here now. And Paul, is that you? Paul Paris? That's not you, is it? That's a different Paul, I guess, eh? To end my rant, any future alts compiled in PACT and running on the Cadena BC are going to be seriously long-term contenders. Thanks for your time. 8D. All right, cool. Paul Paris says, FA, Radium is a simple clone DEX for SOL. Is that what this is? Radium? Right? I guess that's what this is. Does that sound right, Ben? All right. All right.
Yep.
It offers no staking rewards, lending, farming, and only works on Solana blockchain. It has no value whatsoever for the next generation of crypto besides being a way to swap your coins on Solana. All right. Oh, Tefel says it was listed in South Korea. So when did this thing get listed on KuCoin? Because I bet you that would be a catalyst that would launch that out. So that's on the 13th of July. All right. So now it's starting to come together. And, the interesting thing is that's actually not a bad little entry. You got a beautiful little fractal down there. Market came down. That's probably a reload zone of that range. It was listed in Korea, and they just shilled the crap out of it. And if it's one thing I know about the Koreans, oh my goodness, they go apeshit over crypto. you used to have they used to call the kimchi premium. Do you remember that, Ben? Have you been in crypto long enough to remember the kimchi premium? You're shaking your head. I say you're saying yes,
I think
but
there's
unfortunately,
a couple of countries. Was it Turkey as well?
Did Turkey have a Bitcoin premium? I didn't know that.
I think there was maybe when there was like a flight to safety, and then things got a bit turbulent over there. But yeah, I do remember the kimchi for sure.
I noticed that Sjord has a lot of Turkish crypto pairings, and they're always coming up on this screener because that Turkish lira is just garbage. So all the cryptos are just zooming higher against it. Anyway. All right, well, anyway, we're talking about it so much, we might actually get this thing to fire a buy signal here. We're going to talk this thing into a buy. Wouldn't that be funny? Hey, there you go. Wan Yun Son says, I know it because I'm Korean. So, yeah, I used to... I used to have a roommate who was Korean. I don't know what's happened to him. He's kind of fallen off the map, but I hope he's doing okay. Anyway, all right. I think we talked this thing into the ground, that's for sure. And I'm sure the people at Ray are going, hey, thanks for the advertising. Awesome. Okay, what else? I guess we got time for one more. We gave about 10. Well, geez, I guess we got about 20 minutes for that thing. Call me Juan. All right, Juan. So, yeah, they kind of like crypto in Korea, don't they? All right, what's the... we'll finish off with a look at one more alt, I guess, because it's getting on 8 o'clock, and frankly speaking, I'm kind of talked out for today. So, what do you think shall be our final coin to look at? We'll give everybody 30 seconds, and whoever gets the most votes for a coin. Juan, what do you want us to look at? Wade, what do you want us to look at? Adam? Tefal? BD? Paul? What do you want us to look at? And that's Paul Paris over there on YouTube. I think Paul, are you still going? Are you still smoking? I think he went out for a smoke. Is he back?
No, I'm here.
Oh, here he is, hey, bud. All right. So give us a name to look at, and we'll finish off the night. Yo, yo, yo! What up with what up, Juan? All right, there you go. Give me a symbol, people. Hit the like button, subscribe, ring our bell. Whole thing. Appreciate it. Link. Ave. We already looked at Ave, Adam. I think Paul said, Paul, didn't you say you had a nice trade on
No,
it?
AVAX, not
Oh,
AVAX.
AVAX. Okay, my
Yeah.
apologies. All right,
Hey,
here we
bro,
go. They're
before we
coming
go
in
on,
here. Sorry?
sorry to interrupt. Before we jump on, could you just grab me a link to the image
This
for
image?
that? Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
the ray
It's not really the
chart.
best analysis image, though. My apologies. But there, yeah, we'll put it in the room. There's my screenshot there. So,
Okay.
okay, so we got Link, AAVE, KDA, Cole. Cole could be leading me into a trap. I'm not going to say that on air. YouTube will poop on my head. Mind you, I swear enough as it is. LIT, LDO.
LDO, yeah.
Oh, you like LDO? All right, let's do LDO.
Yeah, someone told us about LDO earlier this morning.
Okay, let's see what you got here. LDO versus Tail. Ooh, there it goes. Well, you're a little bit late, eh?
Yeah, but when he posted in the group was a damn nice entry.
On your Discord group or on the TRI site?
Yeah, I guess even on TRI, someone posted.
No. All right.
The person who posted on my group is on TRI, so I guess he posted on TRI. I don't know exactly.
All right.
But I guess he posted.
Looking at this bad boy, hopefully you can see my screen here. I think it's pretty obvious. The buy signal was at about 78 cents. So you should have already sold half on a double, and now you're sort of riding the free remainder of your position. I don't know whether it makes a heck of a lot of sense to come in and buy at $2. That's a bit steep. Also, too, this is probably a pretty good lesson to anybody who studies volume patterns. You kind of notice how we have this high up here, then that high, then this high. If this thing is so awesome, where are all the buyers? Why is this thing sort of trailing off here? So I would simply say on a volume basis, you'll get an indication that the bull is done if we do less than 8.597, which is a pretty darn big number, eh? Yeah, 8.597 million coins or tokens or whatever the hell these things are on a day. So far we've done about 5 million. Obviously the day just started, but if you can see, so the moment this thing trades more than that 8 million number, you'll probably see this thing actually start to really rock and roll, because all the traders will go, okay, well, we don't have to worry about the volume pattern breaking down. The problem here, of course, is can I justify coming in and paying that price? Like I said, two cents, I guess a little over $2. No, I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I suppose. Sorry?
It's too late now for the entry.
Yeah. I suppose, the traders, and this is the way I would approach this. I kind of tried to show you guys this earlier, so maybe I can show you off of this chart. In our education program, we try to teach you two ways to look at the market: a range trader's perspective, so that means buying, things like reload zones, and then if you have a trend continuation pattern, we use things like the bot to help us frame those kind of trades. I think you can see that this is the base of whatever this move is. Interesting, and probably this is a good commentary on Binance. It's a good commentary on crypto as well. Sure looked to me like they were trying to set some sort of base here. The market started to break. You notice Willie got really stupidly oversold. Little even an RSI div. Don't think we have a MACD div there, but a huge MACD div right here. And notice, and actually this is a good example of the volume impetus going the other way. What was sort of the signal that this down move was over? I might argue, first off, there is the trend line market structure top. Can I have a W on the other side of this trend line? You can see it just didn't, it kind of gave one there. Then it broke down. I mean, this is sloppy. If anything, this is a great analogy of why it's probably not good to trade off of these lower time frames with these shit coins, because, you know, it's sloppy price action. But having said that, on this move down lower, you're above the trend line, and notice MACD, and notice, you know, selling pressure. You can see the selling bars in the volume there really strong. So lots of selling pressure. But then notice the next move lower here, and I don't know whether I'm screen sharing for you guys. Can you guys see what I'm talking about? I apologize.
No, you don't screen sharing.
Oh, there we go. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so next push lower. Notice, where did the sellers go? All right, we made lower lows in price. So if you're like a trader, you see the market's just collapsing here. You see that it's broken back above the trend line. You know, any kind of W's are probably buy signals, but here's a great little, you know, piece you can add to your toolkit. You can clearly see that we made a lower low in price. But notice the selling bars themselves, like the actual activity. So this was the first low. But notice that second low of that divergence study, that was the extent of the selling. All right, so if we, here, let's minimize that. All right, so there's the push to new lows, but notice there's no new selling coming in. For this to continue to be a bear, you got to see, and you can see these highs in the bearish volume bars, those red bars there you see, right? This was higher. So yeah, the bear is still in control. And look at the OBV just puking out here. So this push here, making lower lows in price, where are the sellers? They're non-existent. And then look at what the green bars are doing. All of a sudden you can start to see that when the bears, the red bars, when they started to diminish and go away, notice that the green bars actually started to make higher highs. And then really, you know, I would say there's your buy signal right there, where the green bars are breaking out. And you can see that in the actual OBV. See how it turns here and it starts Wing out? So this right there, I think, is actually your signal that the bull is awake and alive and in control. Interesting enough, that's there. Tough trade location. If anything, you know what this is? This has got Binance written all over it. Tough trading. I might even argue that if you wanted to take that momentum signal, like we said, we had, oh, come on, you. What did I do there? I think I just screwed this up. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Give me a second. Nope, that's not it. One of these buttons. It'll work. Okay, there's the volume study back. Now, where's the price momentum? Yeah, okay. So you can see right through here, there was our buy signal right there. And notice there is that MACD divergence. So the price momentum, this, in essence, the MACD div, looks like this. There to there, and there to there. So you can see we have a divergence in MACD and a divergence in OBV and this selling impetus. Buy signals, W's coming out of the indicators, especially on the OBV right there. Probably if we looked at things like RSI. Oops, oh darn, screwed this. Oh, what did I do now? All right, so there's RSI. Ooh, look at that div in RSI. Now, this is interesting. This is an example where the MACD div, you know, Brian likes those nice, well-defined symmetrical W's. Look at that RSI div. Wow, is that ever beautiful? Julian really likes using his RSI study. So there is a beautiful example of RSI div. So we had those lows right there. What are they? Where's that? There's the Bollinger Bands. Where's the RSI on here? Oh, I don't see it. Darn. Well, it's not showing. Well, anyway, now you're just gonna have to trust me. Well, let's see if we can maximize it. There we go. All right, so RSI hit 2681, 2731. So that is a higher low. So huge RSI signal there. Big RSI signal. And actually, this is an application of my concept of RSI. So this W here stops the bear. And now this W here, which you go, holy crap, that's a big W. But that's a W, right? This one, and if it goes through the 50 line, that's a pretty good looking buy signal. And, 50 line is right there. So we kind of pushed up, consolidated, broke higher. I'd actually say that that's not a bad, and actually usually I color this yellow. So something along those lines. That's probably your trade signal. The fact that it didn't break through the 50 line though, means to me it's not as powerful a signal, but let's just see what price did following that. So there's your trade signal, boom. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, so that's right there. And this is technicians, right? Where you don't really get like the sexy W. You're contracted to trade. So where the hell's the W on the other side of the trend line? Well, believe it or not, this is it. Down, up, down, breakout. And the RSI study, right? And then the MACD study, and there's our arrow for the OBV. That's your W right there, and it's ugly as poop. But that's a W is a W is a W. And this one, this would have been darn difficult to trade because you would have had to take like the noob stop. I mean, I suppose you could say, look at all risk here, but oh god, that's a hell of a lot of risk. But let's see if you got 2 to 1 on that move. So, well, yeah, there you go. So there's 2 to 1 there. And that's actually taking the appropriate risk of that W. It's uglier than ugly, but that's actually, I think, the professional trader's trade right there. So it's interesting to see how we're coming in now. Notice our beloved RSI indicator is actually just fired an M. Now, this would be colored teal. And what would this M, what would be the message that this M is telling us? Ben, do you know? Have you listened to me talk about this before?
Yeah, I've been really enjoying this one this week.
Cool.
I think you did a full walkthrough on the broiler chicken show.
Excellent, good. Well, so the message is getting out. One person listened to me. That's fucking awesome.
It's killer. It's really good and resonates with me. So I've been.
Excellent. All right. So on that M, what's the message that we should have gotten?
It stops the bulls.
Yeah.
Good Jets.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it, of course, is you can kind of see that if we go and put in another M here, right, that one's going to be yellow, and that's actually going to be a trade signal. So I don't think that you should be like overly enthusiastic to be a buyer right now. You got to let this all sort of clean itself out. I really think so. That bad place to buy. Now, the way I would really like to look at it, and this is sort of the way that I like to day trade. Now, like I said, this is a really good analogy of it. It's a shitty trader's life, and sometimes you just got to get trades that, you just got to plug your nose and just go, oh, God, this is horrible, but that's the setup, and this is the setup that I trade, and sure enough, bang, oh, look how smart I am. But the way I would look at this is I would say absolutely first and foremost, you got to let them have some at these kind of levels, right? 2 to 1 risk reward kind of idea. I also like, and it might be interesting just to throw this on here. Was that? Oh, yes. Isn't that interesting? So I guess the Foggenbaum here is a weird one because it's going to be off of this consolidation range. So believe it or not, 2.618s and 4.669s, they're probably into these levels. So, kind of a tough one to trade, but nonetheless, there is the Foggenbaum that I would work with. So we could have another little stab up top here, but this is dangerous. And actually, here's a fun little indicator for you to consider using. This is the Tom DeMark's sequential. And as soon as I start seeing 8s and 9s on the upside, that's telling me, oh, be careful. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of warning signs here that you've missed the trade. I mean, that I think is is definitely the message that we're getting here. You're late, right? You're just simple as that. And I suppose, market structure wise, right, if we change this to a line chart, you'll see the structure is plain as day. So, boom. Hasn't broken yet, but you can see. If we roll over here and go through this low here, there's your big fat M, and that probably means that second M in RSI fires, and you actually have a short trade working. So, I actually like the idea that, if you are interested in this name, it's kind of like how we started the conversation off. I think you're coming at this a little bit late. I mean, the awesome trade was, of course, down here. What I'd actually like to see, believe it or not, and if anything, this might be a really good analogy that, off the higher time frames, you might find that this push here is actually creating a divergence off the higher time frames. And if that's the case, then it's another sort of warning sign that, this trade's probably getting a little bit old. If we look at the 4 hour, let's move all that stuff. Actually, you know what I want to do is let's go. Does that clean it all up? There we go. Yeah, okay. So you can see on the 4, there's the daily now, so we flip back to that. You can see MACD is nowhere near these highs. This isn't necessarily a sell signal on itself, but it's a warning sign. And if anything, kind of like what we said earlier, I actually don't mind the idea of, there was an M top that actually fired. So for us to actually get a buy signal, we really want to see a W on the other side of this trend line. Ideally, that low should be higher than that low. We want buyers to come back. This looks very dangerous. If we get a volume bar below that level there, I told you that's a sell signal. Well, it's a signal that the bulls, the guys who bid this thing up, they've lost interest. That's probably a better way to say it. And then it's at that point, it's incumbent on the bears to wake up and take over. And then if that does play out, then that would be the sell signal. So we talked about the RSI. Again, RSI, we don't really like to buy overbought markets. In fact, I even built this indicator specifically to try and keep me away from buying overbought markets. If this yellow moving average gets above 20, that's what I officially call stupid. And it means that you're buying an overbought market. It doesn't necessarily mean that the market's going to break. It just means that there's probably a better place and time for you to be a buyer. I think also, too, this doji over here grabbed my attention when we first pulled up this chart. I think that this doji right here actually defines sort of the bear. Because the thing came out of the gate up here, full of piss and vinegar. It collapsed. Then they sort of settled down. It opened up the next day. You can see there was a real war that happened here. So somebody tried to bid this thing back up, but sellers just overwhelmed this range here and caused it to fail. So that, I think, is your top. Like if you were going to do fibs and short this against that, believe it or not, I actually do like doing a study off of that level. And yeah, so you can see even right now, looks like there's, I can't tell, is that a gap? No, I guess it's not. But look at all these candle bodies. That one, and that one. All right in there. And that's basically where we are right now. This is a very dangerous place on this chart here. If this really is a bull, kind of like what you heard Paul say earlier, you really, number one, you'd really like to see some bullish market structure here. Suppose the only saving grace, and that might be what happens down the road, is this does have the smatterings of because of this W bottom. What I thought I saw earlier, which kind of got me excited, was maybe this was going to set up a bullish bot setup. Something like there to there, there to there. But I don't know. I don't like the look that the price. I mean, as we said a minute ago, you're way too late on this trade. I don't think it's a good idea to buy here. If we could get a nice consolidation in here, we might not be too far for you to actually play this bot. Let's see. Maybe we'll do it off of this entire range. We'll go bot setup. So 33, it did. And actually, now that we've gone to new highs, we might even want to do it off of there now, you know? Because then if this is some sort of, and it doesn't have to break down, but if this is some sort of head and shoulders consolidation, we come back down against this line and then put in a W, I could live with that. That'll work for me. And that might actually be, like if I was hunting a trend continuation setup, which is what this is, I would probably do something along those lines. So I'll use this high, but I'm actually thinking that we're going to come into some sort of top here. Something doesn't look right about this. If we do get that consolidation and we can start Wing out against this trend line on the upper side, that's LJs. We all love those, and maybe we can put in 3 higher lows, and so then that would set up the trade to look something like that. And you can see I'm getting a little better at my squiggly line theory. So maybe we get something that forms like that. And if I got the actual price action right down in here to form this W here, I might entertain. This is what I call front running the bot with sort of, if all the indicators, you know, through this process here, we have, you know, volume calms down and starts to W and the green bars come back. We have MACD maybe comes down, puts in a W and starts to ratchet up. We have RSI come back down and start to W. You know, if all this stuff starts to look like this, right? Maybe we have the moving average do something like that. Then, and the image looks like this, and I'm here, I might front run that. And the good part about front running the bot, since we already know exactly where we're going to take profits, you can set up some pretty damn sick risk reward numbers. Like this here, for example, that's a better part of 5-to-1 risk reward. So that's one reason why I like to front run the bot, is if I got just a whole bunch of really bullish indications, then I might take the shot a little bit ahead of the numbers. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Long and short of it here today, it's probably not a good idea. You want to let this thing consolidate a little bit, and you're a bull, and you're like, I love this story. Okay, just, you know, let it calm down a little bit, and if it can start Wing out, you know, like I said, we need momentum to clean itself up, and Willie, you know, if Willie goes stupidly overbought, then we definitely want to leave this thing alone for a bit. Awesome. If it just goes ching, 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 ching straight up to here, then believe it or not, at these candle body highs, and if it's just like a straight shot up here, I'd really be interested in hunting a short somewhere up here, playing it on the way back down. But then again, do we really want to get into shorting things like shit coins? You know, you can get involved in that game. Me personally, I personally like to trade futures contracts, which are big and liquid, and you don't get into, like, you know, single individuals screwing around markets. Over on Binance, I think I heard you say, Paul, earlier, you don't really like lower time frame trading the shitcoins, eh?
No, I don't like it. Maybe the big caps, I'll try a swing trade, a day trade, but scalps now. Scalps, I'll stick to the Bitcoin and the Ethereum cap.
And frankly speaking, everybody, I think that's actually pretty good advice. So, Anyway. What do you think, guys? Does that answer? What do you think of LDO? That would take far too long. In fact, actually, Tafal asked if we could do a Tom DeMark indicator tutorial. It would take way too long, and we're already 15 minutes overtime here. So what I would suggest to Fall is, if you are interested, and this is a great commercial, but if you are interested, you know, and everybody that's watching on YouTube, Fall asked if we you don't necessarily, geez, you can hear that guy blabbing away. There he is. Pop on over the the channel, and on the weekends, we do what I affectionately like to call the broiler chicken show. But actually, Yeah, and this is the opportunity. This is really more like a ask me anything kind of sessions on Sundays, where I spend a good portion of the time just answering level 1ers questions. So, and actually level 2 and level 3 as well. And you can see, there's a fair amount of viewers. People do seem to enjoy watching this video. So I pop on Sunday and ask the same question. And you'll probably get a more receptive answer out of me, or I might say, well, join the site. Come on for the 30-day trial, and then ask me on a Monday through Friday regular site video. We do the daily brief, and you can ask me there. So sorry to dodge your question. It would take way too long to explain it here, and like I said, we're already about 15-20 minutes over time anyway. Okay, so I could give you this chart if it's of any value. Is this of any value to us here, Ben? I don't know. Hope so. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always great for anybody that's watching the show. They can jump in the app and
and what I like is let's somebody remind me to let's take a look at this in say 3 or 4 months and let's see what happened, because that's actually the best way to learn. Is we'll leave all these squiggly lines on all our levels, and then let's actually see what happened. That's half the reason why I kind of wanted to do this spreadsheet kind of concept, is that we could go back and look at stuff over time. Unfortunately, I'm so horrible at organization, so maybe eventually, maybe after the 3rd or 4th year of doing this, we'll get around to that. Okay, so I put the chart in our little room there, Ben. I suppose, like I said, we're way over time, but frankly speaking, I think this is actually a pretty productive meeting. We only did look at a couple altcoins in earnest, but we did give you a pretty good idea. Oh, hello. Hey, look at what the Bitcoin is doing. So it'd be interesting to find out whether Paul got stopped out on his short. Ethereum hasn't broken out just yet. No, not yet. All right, so Paul's still hanging in there. That's an interesting turn of events, though. I was not expecting that. That's kind of cool. Okay, yeah, look at that. See, both of them, Ethereum and Bitcoin. And so, based on our conversation off of this screen earlier, what should we expect risk to be doing, say, tomorrow? And interesting catalyst. We'll finish off the video tonight with this. I think this is an interesting turn of events here. Do you know, and of course I have bids working, so I don't know whether I'm going to get filled, but I have a bid on this Bitcoin ETF to buy some tomorrow. But if they take off the market, maybe I won't get filled. I did buy a whack of this coin there the other day. But isn't it interesting? I don't know whether you heard, but Kathy Woods publicly announced that she sold something like $25 million worth of this coin down here. So how ironic, I mean, it's remarkable how many little signs there are that we're probably going to enjoy a bit of a rally here in crypto going forward. Yeah, it's kind of cool. All right. Okay, so why don't we finish off? The only thing we have left to do here is our grand predictions. I could probably tell you what Paul's going to say here, but I'll let him speak for himself. What do you think, Paul? What's the grand prediction for next week?
+2.
+2. All right, we're mooning, boys and girls. Right on. All right.
Yeah, it's time to
rock and roll.
A bit up, yeah, 27. Maybe not next week, but
okay,
it's getting close.
What do you think, Ben? You were the only one who was right here this past week. Where are we going, sir?
I'll say a +1.
+1. All right. So 2 uppies. People think we're gonna make some money. Make some money from trading. One thing I noticed about Bitcoin. That's a minus though. What the hell's the plus? I guess it's yellow, isn't it? All right. So there you go. I don't really do this very often, but actually I'm feeling very bullish. Call me crazy. I mean, I suppose the employment report tomorrow could just knock us in the nuts. But I'm actually feeling quite uppy. Oh, I gotta remember, I'm not using the tabs anymore. So good old Bitcoin. That inverted empire fired, didn't it? Jesus. So this is the weird part about our conversation here, is that I think, you know, our price objective, you know, what is that? That's 11%. So just even if all we do is we just replicate the, you know, that's going to be a 10% higher move. If we could go through this high here, oh boy, look left, right? We could jump pretty dramatically here. So, oh man. How does this work? What is +1, the limit of the move on a +1? There's 3. There's 4. Is it 5%? Is that the threshold?
I think it might be.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna hate myself for doing this, but I think I gotta give it 2 here. Just feels like this whole market wants to melt up here. Huh. Fascinating. All right. Well, as you can see, I don't go uber bullish very often, folks. You can see, actually, since we've done this, I've never given a +2 vote here. So there you go. I don't know what the hell that means, but I got to go with my gut. That's what my gut's saying. So that means sell all your Bitcoins and get the fuck out of the market ASAP. No, I don't know, man. This looks like it's going up. I'll probably just leave that on there and see what, you know. I guess the ultimate question is, what happens, you know, if we get a shitty employment report, we're probably going to get knocked back down. So, you know, tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning Pacific time, I'll know whether I was right or wrong here. If we get any kind of friendly number here and the market's happy, holy bejesus, this damn thing could launch itself higher here. So, anyway, should be... In fact, you know, and I could have sworn I did targets about this before. What is the Faggenbaum off of this level? Right there. There to there. All right, you ready for this, folks? Boom.
Yeah, I know the results because I did it already.
28,000. I think that's what you had on your chart, right?
Yeah.
There you go. 28
short reload zone, exactly.
Wow. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy Hanukkah. All right, on that note, I'd asked Paul to tell us what he thinks is going forward, but it sounds like Paul and I are in agreement here. So, any closing thoughts? Anything else you want to add to the conversation here tonight, Paul, or is it the same message as always?
It is the same message.
All right, trade your setups. Don't be.
It's a nice market now, so
all right.
Don't chase this time.
There you go. Don't chase. I like that. Don't actually. You know what you really need to do, folks? You want to make some money from trading? Here you go. You should probably pop on the site and, you know, things like our crypto top 30, because like Paul said, don't chase. You should just surf through a database like this and show me the W's, right? And this is why I love this website so much. Look how easily I can surf through the whole damn crypto market. All I got to do is just look for a W. Do you see a W? If you're not buying the W, don't chase the damn thing, right?
Yeah.
But gee whiz, what an easy way to go shopping the market. That's incredible. It's perfect. It's absolutely freaking perfect. So there you go. Okay, so Paul's given us our final thought. Brian's final thought is, of course, PMA for the win. Maybe try and reach out to somebody who you think isn't doing so well in this world, because trust me, there's a lot of people that are really hurting out there right now. If life is treating you okay, maybe you know, throw them a bone, see if you can do something to cheer them up a little bit. We are extremely privileged, and I am extremely privileged. I've actually, you know what? I've actually been doing a lot of exercise lately, which fills me with joy. To try to lose some of this fat I've added on over the past year or so. I do. Today I did 15 flights of stairs. Oh man, my legs are killing me. Anyway, so lots of PMA. I think that's super important. Ben, what's a closing thought from you this evening?
Let's send some PMA to Brian and Liam for tomorrow.
Well, always appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
And we now have ETH versus BTC on the app live.
Oh, cool.
You want to refresh it?
There it is.
Hey,
oh, you boss.
Look
at that. Oh, look at that. It's so handsome. Oh, look at all that. Public disclosure. Don't sue us. So that's what shows?
If you go up the top, there should be a link to the chart.
Right up at the top.
There you go.
Ticker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're right there.
Right there. There you go.
Sweet. Man, that's cool. Thank you, Paul. Paul for the chart.
Yeah,
Ben
thank you,
for
Paul.
the app. You guys rule. Awesome. Okay. Why don't we leave it at that? I think the only thing left to say is, in fact, actually, Ben, I think I want you to take us out here tonight. So, I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Hit the like button. If you feel like making a donation to our Decentraland cause to get a booth up and running, and we'll just play these videos 24/7. So anybody who wants to learn how to trade can just sit and watch these videos in Decentraland. That was the whole point of this exercise to begin with. You can find the Ethereum donation address in the description. PMA for the win. If you liked and you felt like you got some value, awesome. Pop on the site, TRI, therationalinvestor.com. If you want to learn how to trade, like Paul was saying there earlier, he got his buddy now to learn the process and to act like a professional in the market, and now he's just destroying the market. Perfect. Awesome. Wonderful. Next education program starts this September. We do have a big meetup planned for TRI in Portugal the week of September 16th, 17th, 18th in Nazaré. So I sure hope I pronounced that right. So if you can make it, we'd love to have you part of the party crew for that weekend. That's in Portugal. A huge vote of thanks to everybody involved at TRI to make this dream possible. Sjord, just brilliant programmer. Julian, I think a very good operationals manager, keeping us on track. Actually, one thing that I've noticed, our sort of our breadth of the management team filling out. Josh has become an incredible marketing spokesperson, really getting the correct TRI message out there into the world. Of course, Brian's a bit salty sometimes. So huge thanks. Be sure to follow TRI, and also, if you want to follow my salty Twitter feed, fine. But a huge thanks to everybody involved on the site. Chris, my right-hand man in the daily briefs, the video sort of director, producer / bottle washer. Great group of people. Actually, we're thinking about establishing a campus for TRI, an actual physical location in Portugal because of their crypto-friendly tax laws. So big shout out to everybody who's involved in that project. Our instructors, interestingly enough, all internally trained here at TRI. Graham, Shartoshi, Peter, Kiran, Marat, Zach, Ray. Immensely proud of these people. Very, very intelligent and just trading like bosses. And of course, thank you so much to my co-hosts. Paul, clearly demonstrating, number one, he learned everything that he was supposed to learn in the level 1 program. Would like to convince him to take level 2 and 3, but I don't think he's really that interested in anything else but just making money with the setups that he's learned so far.
Yeah, for now. I'll do level 2 and level 3 definitely, but I don't know. I have to
if you're making
make some money first.
Yeah, if you're making bucket loads of money, why would I stop you? But it just goes to show, everything that you need to learn about the process and making money from trading, you can learn in our level 1 program. So hats off to you, Paul. Just fantastic to watch you in operation. And like I consider all of these people my kids, believe it or not. Paul's probably my peer, but in reality, but figuratively, I consider all of you my babies. And actually, it kind of hurts when I see the babies fly off and do their own thing in the world and leave the nest. So I love the experience working with all of you. If I can make and help you make you famous, Paul, you definitely will. And Ben's stuck with me since day one of this crypto show. So big thank you to Ben. Ben's got beautiful karmic aura. And notice like week in, week out, he's always thinking about Liam. I mean, that's the type of person Ben is. I've gotten to know over the past year, which really touches my heart. Good people around TRI. I really love that. Really good people. It's actually it's a privilege to be able to come in and just hang out at TRI because I mean, like, I don't want to tell you this and then you walk into a trap because somebody is a dick. But I'll tell you, on balance, TRI is the type of place where you can come and just let your guard down. And just, just try and grow and be the best person that you can be. So, I think the only thing left to say, Ben, I'm going to give you the honors tonight. You want to take us on out of here, sir? The only thing left for us to say is...
Bye for now.